Hi everyone and welcome. I am Bailey Rivera with Antiquaria, and in this video I will be sharing my March 2023 planner setup with you. So let's just jump right into getting started. For this month, I decided to go ahead and continue on with my overall greenhouse theme that I have set up for my yearly setup, kind of that I had done previously. If you want to check out that video, I will go ahead and link that as well. So because March is usually the beginning of my growing season here in Colorado, I decided that this would be the perfect month to tie this back into my planner. So I went ahead and I sketched in the box in the top of the greenhouse that'll be in the center, and then you can see how I cut that away to make the Dutch door like in all of my templated monthly spreads. So if you are curious about how those are set up, you can see that as well in my previous videos, which I will also link below. You can also see how I have already pre-drafted my weeklies, like set up in pencil on the side, which I find really is helpful as a way to get started and kind of get past the creative block. Here I am doing some brush calligraphy with the Tombow brush pens, which that brush side works really, really well for this style of lettering. And it's something that I enjoy doing because it's so quick and it's very effective. So I did that for the month, March here. And then as in my other spreads for this year and continuing on with the theme, I added my calendar sticker. I just started going ahead and placing stickers within the greenhouse shape and just around, and puzzle piecing all of those things together to get the sort of more memory keeping center section started. These washi stickers are some of my absolute favorite stickers that I have, and they're also ones that we carry in our shop, and we have different types. And last year especially, I used so many of these in my planner, and it was just, they were really lovely to work with. I then started laying out all of the days, which I am always very careful to do so that I don't mess up. And if I'm worried about messing up, I will pencil that in first. Then, using the brush end of the super light green Tombow marker that I have, I added in the every other line as a place for me to write and to journal, as well as creating a little label box at the bottom with a darker green. I find that just doing those simple things, as well as repeating them through my planner, is a great effective way to tie everything together and to make the planner have an overall style as I move throughout the year. I'm now working on the weekly, the first 2 weeks of March. And as I mentioned, I already had this penciled in, so I'm just going over it with the micron as well as the brush marker. And I am just tracing those pencil lines. Because I have this templated, I can actually do this portion quite quickly, and I just find that it works really, really well for me because it's so efficient and I don't have a ton of time to create my journal layouts each month. For these, I do pencil in the dates, and you can see I'm doing like a little tab banner style date for this month. Kind of, it's actually more like an upside down greenhouse, but it looks like a little book flag to me. And this is a great example too of how I am extending my normal templated layout to include an extra week. You can see on the left hand side how I have that extra week since March is longer than 4 weeks, and there's a couple days of February on the beginning of the month. This is how I solve that problem. Again, I mentioned that this is in one of my previous videos, that this is one of the things that might not suit everybody but works really well for me, where I just kind of like adjust accordingly. So some of the months go short and some spill over onto the layout, and then I use this sort of like 5-week spread to catch up. I have found it to be really helpful in my previous months to actually prompt myself in some of the boxes that I create to include things like what I'm reading, or what my most common activity for the month has been, or goals or something like that, so that I'm not thinking very hard and I just have to just fill that in as I come along to the month. I find that helps me keep up with memory keeping and my busy schedule so much better than if I am trying to daily journal or create something more in real time. If I have that prompt there, I find that I utilize that. On the back memory keeping section, I did a little seed packet like I did in my yearly setup as well, just to tie that in. And I used one of my little Polaroid photos to template out where I would like to more kind of like scrapbook in a photo. I use washi tape on the back of the greenhouse top on the back side to strengthen that, and as well as to create a decorative design on the top. Now that my main monthly layout is finished, I'm going to turn the page and I'm going to start working on my meal plan. This again is something that I have templated every month and am including in my planner right after my weekly spread so that it is easily accessible. Just like the weekly, I have everything penciled because it's all templated, and I find that this really helps me work through my spreads quite quickly, and I can focus on the more creative and, design aspects of the theme this way. So for this meal planning spread, I have the entire month on this one spread, and each box for each day is 3 grids high, and I find that gives me plenty of room to plan what I need to make. Usually I just will write in lunch and dinner, but if I wanted to add a special breakfast item or something, I have room for that as well. One of the most useful parts of this meal planner is including my grocery list washi taped in there, so that as we have items that we need come up, I will go ahead and just write them as I go and keep that list in one place, and everybody in my family knows where to access that. And then I am continuing my greenhouse theme throughout this spread as well, which is a really fun way to bring in the other portion of the monthly theme. You can see that I used my light brown to create the lines like I like to do, and then I'm creating the little label box as well in both the other two areas. And I use these areas to write down groceries that I have on hand, things that are in the freezer, things that I've pulled out to thaw, vegetables I have, all of that sort of thing, just so that I have like a really good visual representation of what I have to work with in the kitchen. And once I finished my meal planning spread, my March setup is finished. So to finish out, I am just going to flip through the whole setup to show you what everything looks like. And I hope you found something helpful or useful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. See you later. We would love for you to join us here each week, so don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can find out as soon as our next video drops. Find us over on Instagram at Antiquary Design, and if you found this video helpful, hit the like button or comment and let us know. Thanks again!